Welcome to the 2-Ton Nerds podcast. As always, my name is Max James, one half of the 2-Ton Nerds. Normally, this is when Scott would introduce himself to our audience, but Scott and I are doing something new. For the next few podcasts, the two of us will be doing a 3-part solo podcast. The reason being, there are areas of interest or what causes the nerd or geek flag to fly in areas of life that need special attention. What I mean by that, there is certain areas of the nerd and geek culture and more need to be told directly from the source, without interruption and the added PSs from Scott or I. As from earlier podcasts would tell, Scott and myself are very similar, but oh so very different. And that's what I'm trying to accomplish here with these 3 solo podcasts, is to create a definite line down the middle separating Scott from Max. So let's get on with part 1, which I'm titling Movie Mature. I can actually remember when watching movies was nothing more than sitting in front of a TV with a bowl of popcorn and being occupied for a couple of hours. Even though I still fix me a bowl of popcorn and settle in for a movie to this day, there has been a few changes mainly to how I view a movie. I will explain. Take the movie Jaws, for instance. When I first watched Jaws what seemed like eons ago, I was watching for the shark and for it to jump out of the water onto the boat and to proceed to eat Quint. Fast forward to today, I watched Jaws for that moment, but I'm more interested in the characters. Case in point, there's a scene with the 3 main characters, Quint, Chief Brody, and Hooper, sitting in the hull of the boat talking about their scars they've acquired over the years, which leads into a speech of the sinking of the USS Indianapolis and the survivors being attacked by sharks. If you rewind time, I would always fast forward this part. I thought it was boring, it was just one person talking. Present day, I can't wait for this scene now. I listen for the tone in the voice, I watch the facial movements, even the subtle act of Quint taking off his hat. This newfound viewing perspective isn't just for the movies that I've seen. Nowadays, I pick the movies I want to watch with care and heavily focused on the characters. Even though the movies I watch are dialogue heavy and borderline insane viewing runtimes, I love watching movies that are considered popcorn flicks or cult films, to enjoy the thrills of watching robots, monsters, and aliens battle. But my maturity level when it comes to films is growing every day, wanting to see more realistic attitudes and subject matter on film, which is why I tend to watch only independent films. Don't get me wrong, the maturity level of the movies I watch now are high, very adult, not in the XXX aspect, but like I said, subject matter or the realistic way of handling real-life situations. But if you would browse my movie collection, you would find a balance of the different levels of movie maturity, and the highest would be Around the Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, Chasing Amy, Alien, American Beauty. All those are mature films. Somewhere around the middle of the maturity bar, Tremors, Clerks, Evil Dead, and even the Rocky Horror Picture Show. These movies are smart, funny, but shouldn't be taken too serious, but there are moments within all these movies that should be taken serious. Take Tremors at the end of the movie. They're all trapped on a rock with no food and little supplies, and with worms that are the size of vehicles digging around the ground trying to eat you. What would you do? One of the characters says he will light a homemade explosive, walk out there, killing the graboid and himself in the process. It kind of comes off a little funny, but it's a very serious moment. But what else is there to do? They figure a way out, but anyways, you get the point. The lowest maturity on the bar is tough to say. Not that I don't know what to say, but as in I don't want to alienate the movie somehow, even though I love watching the movies, but there has to be some serious time between viewings. Like anything from Trauma, Toxic Avenger, Romeo and Juliet, Cabin Fever 2, and even Zombie Strippers, the title alone explains itself. The films in this level are nothing more than just fun, lowbrow, bodily fluids, and very controversial moments. But there are days that I need this kind of humor to escape the outside world. With all that said, I love watching movies, and for one day to sit behind the camera and make a feature-length film myself regardless of maturity level. Until that day, I will continue to do so while living with my parents. I want to say thank you for those who made it this far in the podcast, and here come some meaningful plugs. Please subscribe to the 2-Ton Nerds on YouTube, follow me on Twitter at OneAndOnlyMSJ, and join this discussion on Facebook. As always, I am Max James, one half of the 2-Ton Nerds, and I'm going to go geek out.